Environmental impact assessment, and the real impacts. EIA was a great improvement in the field of environmental protection, and today is already widely used around the world. Nevertheless, the influence EIA has in projects is not as high as its earlier supporters had wished. 1. Its quality and effectiveness is sometimes discussed, but, of course, few people would agree that the environment is less protected when an EIA is taken into consideration during the planning and implementation of a project than when there is no EIA conducted at all. However, the reality is that EIA could have more power to protect the environmental than it actually has. There are some controversies about the quality of EIA and the subjectivity of its best practices, since they are dependent on professional capabilities of its authors. In fact, there is a significant difference between the theoretical approach to conduct an EIA and its application on the ground, which may create opportunities for poor practices. 1. There are other factors that can weaken EIA's influence in a project. For instance, powerful actors can manipulate its integration in a planning process in order to meet specific interests. 2. The fact that EIA is sometimes seen as a mere mandatory part of a project leads to the discredit of its purpose and may result in a report with poor capacity to avoid major impacts on environment. Stakeholders with other interests than the environmental protection may see EIA as an enemy that will delay decision-makings and increase projects' costs. 1. The danger here is that EIA is used to justify projects that can be almost environmental crimes, just because they have conducted an EIA even thought it was impossible to mitigate all negative impacts due to the very nature of the project itself.